This is your boy Angel. I hope and pray that you're having a blessed day. I know I am. Been on a couple of days hiatus, been a little bit busy at work, but now we're going to bring this back to you. My updated Twilightsworn deck profile had a lot of subs been asking about it, so we're always going to deliver the goods here on my channel. Yeah, so I made a few changes to it. As the format changes, therefore your strategy must change as well. You have to adapt. Some things I felt were kind of underperforming. Some things I felt that were kind of being exploited by other cards. So once again, I just need to take the deck in a different direction and whatnot. And let's get into it. Show you guys what we're working with, and hopefully you enjoy it. All right. Starting off, running triple JD. You'll never run this at less than that ratio. It's too good. It's the best boss monster ever created, in my opinion. Pay 1,000, win the game. Just we talk about win buttons. JD, he doesn't get any better than JD. Next up, double punishment dragon recycles your resources, takes resources away from your opponent. Being able to do that on either player's turn, just way too good of a card. It was a welcome addition to the archetype overall, and once again, never see myself cutting it from any kind of build with anything involving Lightsworn. So double punishment dragon. Next up, our newly freed friend, double BLS. We know what she does. As I said in my previous deck profile of my Lightsworn, anytime I'm able to run this at more than one, I was going to take advantage of the opportunity, and now that's off the list of two. Once again, double BLS, welcome addition to the deck. OG in the game, still good to this day. Then we have triple riding, your only proactive miller in your deck. Excellent all-around card. Yeah, mill 2 can gain 200 attack points, get you up to 19, be able to beat over things. Very versatile, very just solid overall card, and one of your a couple of tuners in the deck, just too solid. Love it at 3. Next up, triple wolf. I know some lists run this at 2. Me, I will forever run it at 3 unless something else came that in terms of Lightsworn support that would inhibit me from running that number, because he'll brick sometimes, I understand that, but he's just too good, and the possibilities with him are just too good to pass up in the deck. So you kind of just have to take the bad with the good in terms of the positives he can bring to the deck. So triple wolf for me, I never see myself running anything less than that, because as I said, it's, he just adds board presence, being able to draw off Minerva plays, then get extra board presence, just too good to pass up on that. So triple wolf. Triple Lumina, she in my opinion is the best Lightsworn in the deck, simply because she should play starter. She should play extender. She's so versatile. She does so much, and then at the end phase she can even mill more resources to the graveyard. Being able to mill 3 cards, just triple Lumina for me, no less than that. She's just so good in the deck. Next up, one baby Minerva, one Lila, the one brick.com. Fellas is garbage, but as I said, you gotta run her. It rounds up my light attribute Lightsworn. Getting into my Twilight, guys. I like to take this number right here, guys, and this is something I've been trying out, and this has really been working for me. Run triple Raikou. Raikou is really actually broken. The fact that he can just non-target banish anything on normal summon and flip summon. He's essentially he's like a monster version of Book of Moon, but better. Simply because I can basically set him as a trap. Same thing if I would do breakthrough skill or anything. He's not slow at all because he's a flip summon monster. Sometimes people can say, well, it's too slow. No, not at all. I can set him just as like I said, I would be setting a trap. I can be proactive in the normal summon and get rid of a problem card. Doesn't target, doesn't destroy, just flats out gets out of the game. Been experimenting with this, and I really love it right now. So triple Raikou for me. Double Jane, very underrated. It can get you over problem cards. I actually use this to get over a Vanity Fiend a couple times. A Christia, whatnot, and testing so far with the deck. It's like I said, very underrated card. I really do love it. 2 is just fine. I wouldn't run 3. That's a bit of a brick, but I just, like I said, I really love Jane, because it does add a wrinkle to the deck of being able to get over problem cards, whatnot, and also being able to get banish resources. Like for instance, you can banish bricks like Wolf out of the hand, and be able to use that that effect to push over a problem monster, and it also kind of fixes your hand, gets things out of the way that were clogging you up. So love it, Jane, love that too. Next up, double Lumina, very, very good card. 2 is just fine for me. 3 to me is a little bit much, but 2 is just fine. Very good card, excellent all around. Get your stuff back from the banish zone, then you'll be able to make your plays from cards that your opponent didn't think you might not have access to if they're not familiar with this deck. Just love the card all around, and also when one of my opponents, one of my Lightsworn monsters effects activate, I can instant mill more cards to the grave. Just great card all around. And then finally, one Lila, the Twilightsworn Enchantress. Now, originally I wasn't running the Witch, but this format is pretty much field spell deck, and almost anything meta right now. So besides maybe Pendulum Magicians, like I said, her effect is to be able to pop on my opponent's turn. Looking at I've seen a few pro players say in different interviews on YouTube, one of the things they weren't running certain cards was because of Dryden. And so, the fact that she kind of adds that Dryden-like aspect to my opponents when they're playing their field spells, their Union Hangers, things like that, for instance, the Magical Meltdowns, things like that with your Invoke plays, she really has helped somewhat. So once again, we're just going to take her in there, see how far she takes us. But she's been very solid so far in testing right now. So we're going to leave her at 1. So just a 1 Witch. Then next up, triple Fairy Tale Snow. Speaks for itself. We know what Snow does. I'm very thankful she survived our ban list here. Glad to see her at 3 still while she still lasts. And as long as I can run her at 3, I'm going to keep doing it. All right, it's triple Snow. Triple Enabler, Goblinberg. Once again, unbreaks your hand, get you into your Minerva plays, combo plays of any kind, get your board presence, etc. Run the triple Goblinberg. And next up, I run double Honest. Honest, in my opinion, is the most versatile hand trap ever because one of the very few hand traps where I can actively sack my opponent and then wait for them to sit back and sack themselves. So, like I said, we know it's off the list of 3, but I still like 2, just because I think 3 is just a little bit too much. You'll end up having the third Honest when you hope that's something else to help you extend plays, etc., and it's not even really worth it. So, 2 has been just fine. So, double Honest. Double Eclipse Wyvern so I can search for my dragons. Getting up. Now, I've upped this to 2 because of some cards I'm now running in the deck. Double Gemini Sardonyx. I used to run this at 1, simply because, my logic behind that being, it's a 60 card deck. Chance of me drawing it are not that high. I understand, sometimes there's, the humorous side of it that, bad luck, etc. You end up drawing the card. But that wouldn't very rarely happen to me. But because of certain things I'm running now, I upped it to 2 just because I want to be able to still have it. So, double Gemini Sardonyx. Also, it's Sardonyx because I do not own the Garnet. I actually got questioned about that before in the comment section. So, but I forgot who you were to ask me that, just in case you wanted to know. Don't own Garnet. Sardonyx is the next best thing for me. So, yeah. And then rounding off my monsters, running the Clown Blade engine. Rather, still great. Once again, I paid $1,000 and for 2 monsters essentially. It's too good to pass up. Next up, starting out, I'm now running triple Pot of Desires in the deck. Once again, too good of a card not to run. I mean, this has been just phenomenal. I've never, ever, ever had a bad pot with this deck. It's just so good. I mean, it's almost as it's a win button. I mean, it really, really is. Wasn't running it beforehand, whatnot. Just experimenting with different things, seeing what works, what doesn't work. But a triple Pot of Desires, I think that's something as long as I can run it. At 3 with this deck especially, it's going to stay there. So very welcome addition to the deck, very solid, and it's been just flat out winning the games. But man, that's amazing. Speaks for itself. Then triple Solar Recharge, Pantheism of the Lightsworn, so broken, so good. You need it. This is just an amazing all-around card. Be able to unbreak your hand and get 2 new resources, and then more resources to the graveyard. Just phenomenal all-around card. And our second newly free friend, Triple Charge of the Light Brigade. Thanks, Konami. Good luck for that. Once again, guys, mill 3 to the grave, then be able to search out any Lightsworn monster. So good. Needed to be back at 3. It's long overdue, but I'm glad we finally got it back. So Triple Charge. Next up, obviously you can tell we are running the Brilliant engine here. No need to explain why. Send your stuff to the graveyard, get you what you need, sets up your board. So excellent card. Double twin twister, so I don't lose to things that I'm not sure if I should be losing to. Obviously your paleo matchup, pendulum edition is decent against whatnot. People I know are thinking about well, it's pendulum, pop scales, etc. But that deck is a little bit of a different animal in the sense of destroying its scales. So double twin twister has been real solid for me. Clears out back row, whatnot. Very versatile card. So just had that in there just to make sure we don't run into problems that we wouldn't be able to normally out if we didn't main deck it. So double twin. Then rounding up with the power 1-ofs, one Rhoda, one skill charge, broken, one foolish, amazing card, one that grass, completely busted. We know why he's at one. And then rounding off the main deck, one Raigeki. So that's a total of 60 for us. Then getting into our extra deck, running two of the best rank 4 in my opinion ever created. Mill 3, draw for however many Lightsworn you mill, and then if my opponent destroys the card or sends it to the graveyard, be able to mill 3 more and then pop cards on the field equal to the number of Lightsworn that I mill. Just so good. Minerva's just an amazing card. So glad she got reprinted so she could get into brothers like myself's price range. So double Minerva. Once again, running the Super Utopia package. Stated it once, stated it twice, I'll state it thrice. If I'm running rank 4s, I'm going to run the Super Utopia package just like this. I always want to have the little middleman in there because, being able to have the ability to go 5,000 twice and my opponent not being able to respond essentially, anytime I initiate the attack, it's just so good. So always run the Super Utopia package, like my favorite package in the game right now. Double Tornado Dragon because it's so strong against Paleo and just a really strong card all around. Abyss Dweller because you still make this against True Draco and win. This is just to this day still make this against True Draco and win. And it's strong against ABC as well. So a very good card all around for this format especially. Run the 1 Omega. Obviously not running 2 because I don't spam it as much as I used to be able to before the rule changes and also certain bands and things like Norton, etc. But run the 1 Omega is very solid. One Scarlight to steal games, and I have actually, and I'm glad I did actually add this in because it adds that layer of versatility. As I said, I love to use my extra deck just for toolboxy purposes as well as necessity because just any scenario. If just like for instance, Cowboy for game, I just make Scarlight for game a lot because it's heavy special summoning, etc. whatnot. Scarlight hits the board. I can even beat over something because it's got 3,000 attack and then burn for the rest of the game. So that's actually happened a couple times in testing. So it's very solid. Definitely like the addition to the extra deck with it. And then I'm running the 1 Michael. That's going to be my light Lila target or light Lumina target rather. And then my dark Lumina target is normally my Black Rose Dragon because that's when I'll have the play if I get Lumina, retrieve my banished Raiden, etc. whatnot, or my banished Fellas. Sync, make the Black Rose Dragon off of the Dark Lumina and the Raiden or whatever, or the Fellas whatnot. So these two right here put in absolute work. Michael is still so strong. Black Rose can speak for herself. Anything board wipe is just self-explanatory. So these two excellent package. Then for links, running the 1 Decode. I actually really like this card. I mean, it's inefficient to make, but I really do like the card once it gets on board, gets going. The 1 Mistress Radiant. I think I actually probably will bump this up to 2 in some way, form, or fashion. Still testing, but Mistress Radiant. I think I do want another copy of this. The 1 Proxy Dragon, and then rounding off the deck for us, the 1 Seraphinite. That really, this is really the engine that makes your deck go. So. As that wrinkle of being able to spam, make strong boards, etc. So got to run the 1 Seraphinite. And that'll be all, guys. I thank you for tuning in. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Any criticism that you have, questions, anything, things that you feel that I could improve on as a tuber, whatnot. I'm up to 33 subs. Thank you, guys. You are truly a blessing. I pray that the good Lord add many blessings to your life. And one more thing, I forgot to explain. As I said, changes to the deck. So as you'll see that I'm not running the Predator Plant engine anymore. And the reason why I might as well cover that before we end First of all, I lose to Ash extremely hard off the Predaplant engine. Don't get me wrong, when it gets going, it is phenomenal. But Ash is obviously, it's crept up in price because it's becoming more and more prevalent in the meta, and everything is almost running triple Ash main deck. And I was just losing to Ash too much because, for instance, hypothetically speaking, if I could draw, say, Brilliant Fusion to open and my opponent ashed it, I could still play Yu-Gi-Oh. But if I commit my normal summon, with my Predaplant, discard, and then my opponent ashes that, I honestly have to kind of stop my turn right there, and normally don't have anything to back it up. So I just felt that taking that engine out, simplifying the deck has been better for this format, and so far it's worked out well for me. So once again, guys, may the good Lord add peace and blessings to your life, bless you physically, spiritually, mentally, financially, and this has been your boy Angel of Peace.